You think we take the camera in there and get some footage of Carl?
If you want laser beams to shoot you
Yeah,
down.
he's I don't think a Brit would like that. Hello everyone, it's Cody and
Rob.
with Bible Built. Where are we today, Rob?
We are in Shingle Springs at Gold Country Baptist Church, sitting in on lectures by Dr. Carl Trueman.
Basically, he's going over the social justice movement, the sexual revolution, and transgenderism.
Yeah, he's basically not showing us the revolution that we're in the midst of, but showing us the presuppositions that lie behind the thinking of where we're at.
All right, so we're on break right now at the Gospel Conference, and we're going to look at what books Rob bought.
Kevin DeYoung, What Does the Bible Teach About Homosexuality? Andrew T. Walker got it. The Transgender Debate, Respectable Sins by Jerry Bridges. Jerry Bridges is a great trusted author. Kevin DeYoung, Men and Women in the Church. Faith by Faith, Not by Sight, really looking at the Ordo Salutis. And then the Ten Commandments by Kevin DeYoung. So it's like a Kevin DeYoung day. I really appreciated what Dr. Trueman said, is that the complexity of our current crisis doesn't have just one single answer, but it can begin with just simply being a good neighbor to people and being involved in your community, which would dispel what some people may see as the radical Christian ideology, when really it's just holding to historic Christianity.
One of the common things for Christians is like, let's just lay back and let it happen because it's inevitable. Jesus is going to come, and then we're going to go to heaven. So it doesn't really matter what we do here on earth because we can't stop it.
Yeah, it's a rather defeatist and pessimistic view of eschatology. Eschatology being a view of the last times rather than being optimistic. Because while we do see that there is an increase of evil and hostilities in the world, we also see the promises of Christ that he will build his church, he will protect his church, he will grow his church until the gospel is known in all nations. I like what Luther said when he was asked and I'm paraphrasing what he said, so if you knew tomorrow was the last day on earth, what would you do? And Luther said, I'd plant a tree, and I think we need to be planting trees.
And I agree with everything that Rob said, just so you know. I can't say it any better. So, bye. So Carl Trueman today addressed, obviously, a lot of what's going on in our society today. The sexual revolution of the LGBTQ, talking about how sex is no longer a choice. It's no longer something that we do. Sex is now who you are. It's what defines you. So essentially, you are defined by your desires. We live in a world now that says morality is subjective, that truth is essentially whatever you want. To say that you can dictate what is right and wrong, we would say as Christians that there is an objective standard to morality. There is an objective standard to what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is evil, and that is God. How do we know what is good? We go to Scripture. How do we know what is right? We go to Scripture. We live in a crazy world, but we should have hope that Christ will continue to build his church. Us as Christians have an obligation and a responsibility to be engaged, to be involved in what's going on, to stay relevant. And that, I will close. It's a wrap.